Hey all. Hey, I'm ready. The Humble Pie version. First off, if you never heard the one on the Rockin' the Fillmore album, the whole album is great. But Steve's intro, where he does the sort of "Are you ready?" kind of intro, it's just priceless. All the charisma of Steve Marriott is in that couple of minute intro there. So great version if you never heard it. The studio one though is equally good. It doesn't have that long intro, but it does have the cool tight drumming intro on it, which is fantastic. And the riffing that's going on, Pete and Steve are kind of doing slightly different things, and in fact on the live one, even on the studio one, it's a little bit of a mess trying to figure out who's doing what, but you kind of can sound some of it out just based on how each of them tends to play. So let's go through the just a guitar part that will get you through playing it. Starts off with the riff. Right, so you kind of slide up the A to 7, and that's D and G at 5. Now it sounds like sometimes they do that A at the 7th. Sometimes it sounds like they do the D. One of them might be doing one of them might be doing the other. I can't tell. Down to an A. Right, that riff. And they do variations of this throughout the tune, even the live one and the studio. So 3/4 on A, and then 2/4 on the D. It's 3/4, then 2/4 to a G at the 2nd fret, that A note. So this is the main lick. Then you go into the vocal, right? But in this, there's different stuff going on where they're each sort of just playing around with it and improvising it. Like Steve will do the D string. He'll end it with back down 4/2. Now Pete will do stuff like this. He does just major pentatonic stuff. He puts in other sort of jazzy kind of stuff too. So they're playing different versions of the same riff. This is during the vocal. I've been drinking gin, right? One is doing that. I think that might be Steve. Just on your A. It's just the A. He's just doing that on the D string, 2, 4, 5. City boy, start a fight, and then D. So you can suspend the D up. Again, listen to it. verse. Now some of the little licks they can do in there, like it sounds to me like every time they go into a verse, they're not both, they're doing different stuff. Like sometimes when one of them still seems to be doing this sometimes. Or doing something like 2/4 on D, 2/4 on G, and then 2/3 on the B. Now during the Pete solo, which is one of the best things he ever played, is the studio solo on I'm Ready. I think Steve is still doing his sort of verse thing, or just messing around on A. Come out of that. In the last verse, it sounds like right, little licks like that on the A string at 3, bend up 3 at that low E string. And then in one of the breaks, prove to your mama that I ain't no square. They're doing some kind of, again messing around on the A riff. This is in the outro, so it comes back into one of these. G. A. So it goes a G. Pete's doing fills on that, and then he does fills on A. And then same thing. Ends on A's like that. Now the main moral of the story for this one is on the riff during the verses. It's kind of a free-for-all, or at least it sounds that way to me. If you can pick out some kind of rhyme or reason to what each of them is doing during that, more power to you. But I think the idea of it is they're each doing different things, and they're messing around on or whatever little licks and riffs you come up with in the A probably would work best with two people doing different jams on that little A riff, because they do kind of meld together into something coherent, even though you can't tell what, I can't anyway, what each of them is doing. And the live one is even more murky on that, for me anyway, trying to pick out who's doing what. But that'll give you a basic structure of their arrangement of I'm Ready. But listen to both versions, because there's great stuff in both of them. On the live one, it's sort of Steve's charisma through it. And on the studio one, it's Peter's playing, and his soloing is just, gosh, he was, still is fantastic. Good luck.